What inspired me to create this piece originally was simply a conversation I had with my father when we were looking through a telescope on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I don't even really remember what the conversation was, but I do remember the surroundings of the Blue Ridge Parkway and how, quiet and peaceful and dark it was under, the starlit sky. And that's originally what inspired me to create, sort of the setting. And the conversation and the tone of the story came about as a result of that setting. The creative process that I went through to develop it wasn't really... I didn't sit in front of a computer for multiple days trying to write this piece. It mostly came to me, like a lot of the more solid works of art or writing that come to me do, it came to me spontaneously. It only took me about, a day to write it. I wrote a rough draft, and then I edited it. Of course, after I wrote the very first draft of it, and edited it, and read it in my creative writing class, I got to rewrite it as part of another assignment. And I think I also rewrote it for much later, as part of another sort of assignment. I am actually very satisfied with the piece that I wrote for Delphi. I would probably consider it to be the greatest, I'm the most satisfied with this piece out of, say, all the stories that I wrote for my creative writing classes. I also had some poems which I thought were good, but this story was something that I really enjoyed writing. It was probably the most solid piece of writing I had, I think, for creative writing. One of the things I like about the piece that I wrote is it's sort of ambiguous to the point where everyone can sort of identify with it and see what's going on in it, but not completely have a concrete vision of what's happening. They can sort of look into it and read a bit in between the lines of what's happening in the story, and I like that sort of all-encompassing relatability. Some sort of symbolism or deeper meaning is, sort of required for a good piece of literature. You can't just, otherwise it's just sort of like a Michael Bay movie or something. I think there is a deeper meaning within, a symbolic meaning within the artwork, but it's kind of clouded by ambiguity. It's not, there isn't one specific motif that I use, although you could say that there are some elements of symbolism with the stars and so on.
Well, I did this piece based off of my relationship that I have with my grandfather. Him and my grandmother were really influential to me when it comes to starting my career as an artist. So this piece was a way of saying thank you to them. I really just did it to say thank you and dedicate it to them. Well, I had the idea in my head, and I just kind of developed it as I painted. I knew that I wanted to do 3 canvases so that each canvas could focus on a different part of the piece. Like the top canvas focuses on the stars, and then the bottom one focuses on the shadows. I think that it really portrays the meaning very well. Well, when my grandparents first saw it, they were really touched and they cried. So I got my meaning across really well, I think, and that's what I was trying to accomplish, was to make them see how thankful I am for what they've done. And it was just me saying thank you for everything that they've done for me throughout my life so far.